minutes are up, and so what we're going to do now is, you can't tell from looking, but these test tubes are very flexible plastic, so I'm going to squeeze it firmly and remove that swab and get all the liquid out so it stays in the test tube. Put that back, discard that. And now I'm going to add the test strip, if I can get into it. And I'm simply going to insert the strip with the arrow pointing down. There's one for the positive. There's one for the negative. And there's the one for our patient. And this time we're going to incubate for 5 minutes. All right, so we're going to let that count down. But while we're doing that, in the laboratory, we're always about being efficient and making good use of our time. So while that incubates, we're going to do something else. We're going to move on and perform our anti-streptolysin O test. So in order to do that, again, I've got two controls, positive and negative. I've got our patient and I have our ASO latex reagent. So I'm going to do things in the same order. I'm going to start with my positive control, and I'm simply going to add a drop of patient serum to that, to my number 1 well. My negative control, I'm going to put down here in space number 5, just so they're not right next to each other. And then last, I'm going to put my patient in well number 3 on my little labeled slide. And now I'm going to add my latex reagent to each of these. So now I've added my reagent. So now I'm going to take my stir sticks and I'm going to mix these. There's my positive control. And you can already see it starting to react. Here's my negative control. And then finally, here's my patient. And I'm going to just gently rock this slide for about 20 seconds. All right, I think my 20 seconds are up. And so you can see that my positive control.
Oh, there's glare.
Let me turn it this way.
Yeah, there you go.
So in well number 1, that's my positive control, and you can see where it is agglutinated. Well number 5 was my negative control, and I have no agglutination there. And well number 3, where I placed my negative control, well number 3 is where I placed my patient sample, and it is also positive. So this patient has been infected with Streptococcus group A in the past, and they've made an antibody to streptolysin O, which is a streptococcal product, and so we can say that they have had an infection in the past. We've got about 1 more minute left on our antigen test, and so The fact that we've made this antibody is telling us that our infection has been sometime in the past. And so let's predict for a minute. Do you think we're going to get a positive antigen test? Yes or no? See what you think. And we've got about 30 more seconds to wait. I should hum the Jeopardy theme music for you or something. Do 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 do. 8 more seconds, and now you have proof that your professor isn't entirely insane. And while I'm at it, I should give a shout out to Lori Schwartz, our student laboratory manager, who has been my videographer and is sitting over there in the background cracking up. So let's look at our controls. And what you see here is we have a blue line, that is the internal control, but we also have a pink line that is indicating a positive test. I think I just lied. The pink line is the internal control. So it has worked, and the blue line is representing the positive test.
Can you get a little closer? Because we can't see the pink line. There we go.
All right.
All right, cool.
All right, so our positive control is positive, and it worked. Here's our negative control, no blue line. We do see a very faint pink line, which is our internal control, so our test is valid. And so now let's look at our patient. We've got the nice pink line, so our internal control worked, so our test is good, but no blue line. So there is no antigen present in this patient's sample. It's negative for the streptococcal antigen, so the patient may have had that infection in the past. They made an antibody, they got over their infection, and so now there's no antigen present for us to detect. So I hope you've enjoyed this video version of the class. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you in person this week, but hope this will showcase the concepts that we talked about in the lecture. So thank you very much, and have a good week.